Welcome to Voices, Mysticism, Prophecies, and Marigolds. Okay, we're going to read our work from this beautiful book. And I would like for you, after I call your name, say your city and state, and then begin reading. Okay, let's start with Joe Nolan since he was the first one here.
Good afternoon. Joe Nolan from Stockton, California.
Hey,
We will go to page, what is it? 124. Greetings from planet Cosmic. Maya, oh Maya, how hard to pierce thy veil. Try and try through thousands of lifetimes. Most find they always fail. Whenever things got hot, up close and personal, a little confrontational perhaps, demanding some commitment, making a firm decision, adopting an opinion or point of view, he'd always jump off to planet Cosmic. Start talking about an eternal self, cosmic consciousness, and how opinions are inevitably wrong and deserve no endorsement or commitment. So much so that I began to believe that his appearance in this world was only an holographic projection from planet Cosmic, like a ghost or an apparition, nothing you could hold on to, shake up or wrestle down, since he was basically a spiritual person and should have been a priest or a monk, instead of a gray flannel suit appealing to the dark hearts of men without ever getting his hands dirty. Since he held himself above the fray, as though he were always floating at least 6 inches above the ground, through the power of non-attachment, which is just the first lesson they teach in kindergarten on planet Cosmic. And the next one I'll read is Morning Dew. The mercy of the morning dew that moistens all the grass, through which we walk on shoeless feet, bare skin to kiss the wet beneath, and somehow cleanse our souls from dreams that dreamt us through the night without our willing so. Were we to be measured by what we do and fail to do in dreams we can't remember, but those things thus compose us and haunt us when we wake to wash our souls in morning dew. And the last one for this section, I'll read The Death of Thomas Merton. I'm sure everybody has probably heard of Thomas Merton. He was a Trappist monk and a mystic, and he was a best-selling author, and he came out against the war, and then he ended up dead in Thailand when he was out on some kind of a spiritual gathering with a number of different religions. And there was no autopsy performed, and there were suspicions concerning the cause of his death, which was attributed to electrocution in a bathtub from some type of an electrical appliance like a fan.
wow.
The death of Thomas Merton. Did you at least find peace of mind, inner poise, contentment, or satisfaction? At least a state of grace, a holy place to which you could retreat and be home? All mystics have known the temple is within, that the Son is in the Father, and the Father is in the Son, and that we are all one in the unity of the Holy Spirit forever and ever. Amen. They just have to be careful how they express it, if they even choose to, so as not to run afoul of the laws against blasphemy. The powers that be don't want little peons to be too free. They might get uppity. Stake burnings are so cruel. What happened to Thomas Merton? An electric crucifixion? There are risks in making it all too clear to the minions, the millions, the classic masses who, left in ignorance, would just remain asses, Meat for the grinders that twist and turn, mangle and burn, underneath flags they parade for the lasses to whom they hope to return. Did you at least find peace of mind, inner poise, or was all the beating of drums for rhythm work just more noise and search for reckless abandon? What of staring at walls and watching your breath? Did it ever lead to your ego's death, the advent of Satori? Or did it only bore you, make your legs sore, make you wonder if there were not more for you to do with your time than try to control your mind? Thomas Merton never claimed he would return or asked his students to remember his name or proclaim that he had entered the one, or take up cups or break bread in his honor. He just went away when his body was fried in a tub.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, Dwight Jackson, where are you coming from today?
Good morning. I am situated in Sacramento, California, and I write under the pseudonym The Nomad. So if you would happen to see a poem called By the Nomad, that would be me. All right. I'm going to read from page 92. And the first poem is called The Nomad, Traveler Extraordinaire. For those who know me not, I am called the Nomad, Traveler Extraordinaire. I have entered the fifth dimension in search of unknown life. Excuse me as I turn over this rock. When I travel, when I traverse next is a question that has no answer. I am always just short of loss as I move blindly down the mysterious path of the unknown, never knowing what I'll encounter next. I'll find out as the mystery unfolds. Excuse me as I investigate that interesting stone to your left. And the search for extraordinary life requires I look behind every corner and under as many rocks as possible. And then, to my surprise, meeting. I was stunned to hear a voice booming but gently ask, "What are you looking for? Maybe I can help." I'm sorry.
I can edit that out.
Yeah, how rude, huh? Okay, the meeting. I was stunned. Sorry, this poem has three parts. The first was introduction. The second is the meeting. I was stunned to hear a voice booming but gentle ask, "What are you looking for? Maybe I can help." Over my shoulder, I see a somewhat like me, but unlike me, life form blinking three eyes. It too was searching under stones and eating the discoveries which tried to scurry away. I'm called Nomad, Traveler Extraordinaire, in search of the unknown. Excuse me, I say to this being, as I return to my search, turning over stones. You're invited to join me, and so a party of one become two. Later on that evening, we sat by the fire sharing thoughts. She, at least I believe she was a she, confides in me, confides to also being a explorer. And I listen inquisitively, but her story has no more to add. So silently we sat silently watching moths circle the fire, then enter, never to return. I wondered if they will reincarnate as one of the creatures found under a stone, or one of she, or me, or one of me, or will it reincarnate as a god? Difference. Laying to rest after a long day's trek and turning over heavy stones, I fall into a fitful sleep. I dreamt of a floating island covered by swirling fog and fields of marigolds. And I thought nothing, and though nothing looked familiar, I would have bet my third eye I had been here before. Breathing was easy, yet gravity was missing, and I found myself choking back the desire to panic. Reasoning, there was no reason to panic. Nothing is wrong, but what is right? And I wake with a start, wondering, am I failing to recognize there is no wrong or right, merely different? Have I come upon different and failed to recognize it? How dare I call myself nomad, traveler of islands far and wide, in search of the unknown, failing to recognize difference? With that embarrassing revelation realized and accounted for, I move forward with the with the higher respect that is due the different. The next is called In Search of Queen Darkling. Enamored I have become with the celestial sightings of a dragon queen darkling, racing out of the sun, snaking gracefully in and out of the clouds. Most attempt to assure me, and I speak of fragments of imagination. Nevertheless, I am on a pilgrimage in search of that black dragon, hoping to obtain a whisker or a scale as proof of my sanity. Cautiously, I step through the fog of possibility, finding myself in a place of mystery, searching in surroundings I think I last saw the queen darkling, the black dragon, spirit guide, manifester of destiny, power, fortune, and protection. Hunting the black dragon can be quite dangerous because her chameleon properties blend into surroundings, changing colors in response to the emotions made her hard to see before she might see me, making this mission a do or die. Returning empty-handed would brand me a lie, and this I could not abide, making it a necessity to maintain audaciousness. Within this odyssey, least I surrender my life to my prey. This possibility cannot be overstated, as the elusiveness of the black dragon can't be overrated.
All right, thank you very much. Thomas Hedt, you're up.
Well, fabulous. It's so wonderful to connect with you all. I'm up in Eureka, California. Connected with Dave years ago when I was down in living in Woodland. And so great to keep the connection going and hear your voices. So I'll go ahead and do, I guess, a few now, and then on round two, I'll do something that's not in voices. So this is on page 224 of your lucky number program. And it is called Summer Solstice, Hatcher Pass, Alaska. It's never a straight line, stumbling, pulling, climbing, a steep face, a ridge facing west. The horizon before me, a sharp orange blade, the sun slides through it as if it were cut, oblique, opaque, diagonal, episodic. I sit on a rock along slow dusk, waiting, watching evening take the day. It's 10 p.m. It won't get dark. When the sun returns, change happens so quickly here. Fishhook Creek, the Little Sioux, the Matanuska choked with sediment, glacial flower, loosened, awakened, come to life. A caterpillar spinning silk, encasing a series of moments, then chewing itself free.
Thank you.
And we'll switch to 226. On the second day, Los Pargos, Costa Rica. The wind blows through all dreaming. Palm trees catch the metal roof, awake and swallowed whole into a bowl of blue, cloudless sky. Howler monkeys and parrots scream atop gray trunks of acacia. Vultures are out early, circle high on thermals. patient as death.
Thank you. Okay. All righty. How about Ed Balldinger?
Muting myself. Yes. I'm from born and raised in Sacramento, and now bounce between here and Mendocino. So happy to be here and reading with people from all over the place. So thanks.
Have you noticed it's mostly California? It's all California so far.
It's heavy with people, you know. People equate to poets.
Ah, okay.
I'm just going to read this one piece. The other piece is a long story, so short story, but this is called Bone Piles, Substantial Rains, and One More Marigold Prophecy Grown Prophetically Inside Out. Among the marigolds, in these cracked pots, there are pricks among the hicks with sticks and stones, the clones of our own unsown selves, a few names called along with our stuffing falling out of our spacesuit brains, fabricating debates on dinner plates made for one. Also, this is page 27. I should have told you that if you want to read along. It causes me no wonder how the breadboard receives the edge of the knife, serrated, bladed, or straight, and who receives the sliver of wood in their piece of bread shoved into already swollen gums before going numb with infection in the insurrection of the brain beginning to swell, untethering the whole, letting go. But aren't the marigold colors delightfully gorgeous in our heavenly sunlight today? You take this essay to the setting sun, somewhere near the source of life, and let it trickle across impermanently recycled floors where unjust strains of commonality leach into immodest manacles like marigolds kissing pure, naked skin at the onset of an embraceable spring, and will submerge to love's deepest ocean of all. This is but another conjuring of some woven wisdom pushing its way past my not so nimble fingers anymore. Its unfiltered words made black and white on a page as sacred to Swami Samji, nestling into a yogic phrase for beloved disciples to digest. This I am. There's a simple rate of starvation nailed to faith's crossroads in the crack of common sense that shares its blown cover with many more lovers in this world alone. I like the way it's told, written as if to vibrate the minds of bumbling numbles such as I, straight into the rigidly ranted out maniacs in charge of nothing that love cannot conquer. Because true love never looks to be invasive without wanting to look away. At times, it's only me with a brand new retractable ice pick. One of those ice picks and a bottle of laudanum that someone snuck off the shelf of my inner self outside a city store one night. Local mystics plug into rays of energetic bliss connected to prophecies made for cosmic revolutions before spreading out tables as humanity's last significant meal is served. Humble pie, iconic crow, and a cognac chaser for dessert.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Benito Vila.
You spoil me. I live in a little town north of Zihuatanejo called Mahawa. So I'm in the Zihuatanejo and Mahawa in the state of Guerrero. So we're about halfway down the Mexican coast. So I'm in Mexico and Mahawa. I've read almost all of the poems. I've read these with Belinda, except I haven't read this long one. Let me see what page it's on. I got to find myself here. Bear with me. My book has not made it to Mexico yet. So I'm on the, so my poems start on 246, and the one poem I haven't read yet is a long one called There's More to Every Story Than What's Being Told. So I'm going to read that. There's more to every story than what's being told. The body of God suspends time, floats. I need to leave my Egypt to make it to the promised land. The body of Christ aches, suffers. Each person is more than what they appear to be. The body of the Holy Spirit dances, whirls, altars covered in marigolds, banana, and arroz con leche. That's where the dead go. Welcome. Intolerance has no humor, no grace. It's pure ignorance, set to go after, humiliate, and stop what's unfamiliar, new and outside the ordinary. Popeye had it right. I am who I am. Loving my girl and getting my spinach will keep me going strong. If the love of war could fade out like a roadside billboard, then the idea of killing people of another tribe because we need to could become the relic of another time. Surrealism is meant to get society to look at its sickness. Guns go off in a crowd, the phone people rush in first, headlines are made before the medics arrive. The fear machine makes more death, more debt, more doubt, because it knows how to sell it so well. The American 1950s were a jacked up post-war frenzy of speed, righteousness, and success, set on buying time-saving appliances, living to get more, moving up until the birth defects were explained. That the children are being ignored now is beyond comprehension. The tomorrow dream where comfort and ease are generously distributed ignores the complexity and misfortune of our disease today. This is a situation that calls for more than what the family doctor can do. I am naked. There's no curtain. Freedom is the privilege to experiment as a society, to love as an individual and be wrong at any time. Could ours fade away? Does anyone remember what it means to be free, what it takes to protect our neighbor's right to be different? That matters. Aversions and preferences corrupt the individual and make the collective really crazy. The Lunacy Commission is here. The deficient will be found out. New value and new meaning will be given to rocks, paper, and scissors. I only talk to myself. What could possibly go wrong? Aren't I the stuff of stars? Aren't I radiant? Aren't I a holy miracle of breathing, a beaming continuous arc of holy connection? Why then do I come apart so easily? Why am I so narrow, so sharp, so disconnected, so fragile? What is it that I've forgotten? Ruin is all that comes from my complaining incessantly. I ruin any chance of moving on to something more intelligent. My disconnect, my disappointment, I don't want to hear it either. When I blame anyone, we both lose our dignity. I want to participate in my own rescue, grab the rope when it comes, to be true to the past and to the future. There's a need for a huge museum acknowledging slavery and its legacy. Without one, America holds centuries of hurt close, with nowhere to put it. There's a need for a national plan to stop anyone from walking into a school with a gun and killing children and teachers. It's important to know how societies form, how they each forget to be kind, inclusive, helpful, and what happens next. I go out to walk at sunset, to marvel at the new angels. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I also haven't read this one. This one's on 247. It's called There's a Place. Oops. Everything just jumped on my computer.
Aren't you holding back, saying, turn to your hymnals now, Paige?
Okay. This is called There's a Place. Anyway, here we go. There's a place where there are no words, where emotions, sensations, and thoughts have no stories, where there is no being, no doing, no next, no why, no how, where there is only an isness, however you choose to spell it, a calm that is forever what you choose to call it. Wherever I am, I feel what I feel, I think what I think, I see what I see. Wherever I am, I make choices one after the other, admiring my preferences, my illusions, my own incantations of myself, forgetting that I know how to dress things up as being something other than what they are. I live across the street from reality and I'm not crossing over. No way. I need to explain my need to explain myself comes from having learned a sort of self-defense that most birds find unnecessary. Words hold bullshit as easy as truth, which is good to be aware of, good to keep in mind, and hard to shake. Normal is what most people do. Although how most people think, feel, and behave is far from anything being close to kind, intelligent, or healthy. My favorite delusion is that I'm sensible, that I'm right, that I need to say something right now, that I need to argue for what I believe in, for what I'm sure of. The things I do, I practice into habits, habits which becomes the things I do more and more. No one gets born alone, and there's no living alone either, but you can die alone. Even when sitting off apart from the world, even when sitting apart off, sitting, let me try again. Even when sitting off apart from the world comes easy, it's not always the right place for me to stay. If I want to get beyond blame and innocence and walk along in peace, I need to meet myself wherever I am, and I need to meet you wherever you are. We don't have to say anything to make that place matter. So that was sort of a little reflection. And then I have a really short one. If the
All right, go ahead. You do get another chance.
I can just manage my computer. It's called It's Really That Simple. It's a 2-line poem. It appears as 3 lines. You're as close to God as I'm ever going to get. It's really that simple.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Annie LaBrash. Annie LaBrash.
That's right. Annie LaBrash, but I go by Anne most of the time, but Annie's okay too. I think it's funny that I have all these friendly faces in front of me and I've read before in groups, but I still feel anxious when I'm going to read. I bet I'm not alone.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
So anyway, page 140, and I'm gonna start with a wish. Yesterday, I had a wish. It was special and delicate, and I gave it to you. You took my wish, and for a time it was granted. The light touch of your hand gave assurance I was not alone, that you too held desire for me. And oh, the joy when our souls came together and the spark we felt exploded, and the explosion became blissful exuberance. You became my happy place, but did I become yours? It was complicated, as the saying goes, as the baggage of our befores began spilling into our nows, and soon our universe of bliss turned to turbulence. Today I took my wish back. You did not treat it with kindness and care. Instead, you played and toyed with my emotions until I was lost, lonely, and heartbroken, until neither one of us could breathe and our joy turned shallow. I wasn't looking for true love, just some extra tenderness for healing. I thought you might be someone who might understand my pain. I thought you might help me see clearly again. Tomorrow, I might wonder a bit. I might be sad a time or two. I wonder what you will do. And the next one is 3 of me. It's on just the very next page, 141. There are 3 of me playing a game of ring around the rosy, but no one wants to be the first to fall down. So we keep spinning ourselves round and round and round. The little one, Annie, just wants to have some innocent fun, so tired of being only sad and frightened. It feels different, good in fact, to have her heavy load lightened. The middle girl, Anne, has the clear traits of rebellion and unthinking. To her it is a desperate game, for she's afraid of sinking. The grown girl thought enough is enough and sat herself down. The grown girl told the little one, we can all have fun. The grown girl told the middle girl, the fun will keep us afloat. The grown girl then told the other 2, okay, it's time for us to blend. Then each girl took the other girl's hand, squeezed themselves tight, and became Anne.
All right. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon Mahaney. Mahaney. I'm sorry, Sharon Mahaney.
Yeah, no worries. I think I'm on 152. And I'll just read the first two poems. So, Becoming, a transformational poem. Light becomes us. We envision power. We shine. We sparkle. We imagine greatness. We are power. We emanate. We radiate. We are greatness. Light becomes us. We are powerful. We unite. We coalesce. We exude greatness. Light becomes us. We are energy. We magnify. We magnetize. In our greatness, we become light. Light becomes us. Read 3 times to fully shine.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. All right, the next one is Crop Circle Love. Anglish, agriculture, art, labyrinth, mosaic, intergalactic messaging, telling us, stay grounded. Crop circle love moves in 2 directions, spiral and internal. Connect and imagine. If our world were the meaning of it all, would we disappoint? Are we a display, an unlimited and tangled tapestry reflecting moments worthy of tears? Spilling from our wild synapses, a propensity of prosperity where light, love, and joy pours unconditionally and is transplanted into every dimension and alternative. A sprinkling of seeds in likelihood of an early spring, a golden mane of wildness, marigolds.
Thank you. And where are you coming from, Sharon?
Oh, I forgot to do all that. I'm from Roseville, California, which is just above Sacramento.
Okay. And Annie, are you in California as well?
I forgot too. Yeah, I'm in Sacramento, California.
Oh, gosh, we're all from almost all from California. Well, yay, California. Okay, Sandra Tanhauser.
Yes, I'm from Penryn, California, which is east of Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so nice to be in a room with so many fine poets. My first one starts on page 217. It's called Block Party. You would never know several months ago from the black, gaunt figure with upstretched arms and bony fingers that this host was able to throw such a party. It begins with the invitation, green buds, then leaves, clouds of white flowers with luscious yellow stamens. The first guests were buzzing in ecstasy and spread the word. It's coming. It's hot now. The spring sun has finished the baking. An avian orchestra provides a staccato sonata while happily feasting in the branches. The fruit flies whirled around the fallen in inebriated delight. Soon the geese join them, so stuffed they don't even move when we approach. And the party goes on all night. The mice, the rabbits, the fastidious ground squirrels, leaving pits lined up outside their burrows. Nothing is forbidden. Nothing is withheld. The block party in full swing, licentious, sensual, laid out for corporeal pleasure and desire. My plum tree is in full regalia. How it joyfully embraces the only destiny it will ever know.
Nice.
Okay. And one more, little different vibe. Okay, contrapunto, which means alternating. It is spring. The Japanese maple erupts in blood-red leaves. Bombs in Rafah leave an acrid smell, sulfur, plastic, rotting flesh. Rhododendron flowers, the purple of twilight, poppies' golden grin. Around you, ashes and rubble, sewage spilling down the street. Silken songs of birds in the morning, the wing twirls of antlions in the evening air. Children no longer cry or laugh, no food or water, heat or light. Sunlight spilling through windows, the deep blue after rain. Many have lost their limbs before they learn to walk. Bulbs are emerging from the earth, about to flower for early butterflies. Millions displaced in Ukraine, in the Congo, rapes, abductions. A time to awaken after the winter dark, a time for renewal. Orphaned, with nowhere to go, 5 years old, thoughts of suicide.
Wow. Thank you very much. I believe everyone's had one chance at reading, and that would leave me. So if you want to turn to 104 in your hymnal. Okay. Lessons of science fiction. I hear cosmic wheels turning. Stardust is applied to my telescopic eyes. Our future is brown and gray, metallic, beige muslin, and colorful machinery talking to our drabness amongst the dust. Animals walk upright with alien heads. Tails are wound up off the floor as a sign of respect to strangers. The air is infested with drones. Imagined privacy is the sanctum of our bugged homes where evidence is not obvious. We kid ourselves, this is fiction, and humans will advance with technology. Maybe there will be a place where only the robots have color and intergalactic humor, and our dunes hide monstrous worms. Meanwhile, even in the movies, science demonstrates miracles at the speed of light, but humans remain primal, willing to break the backs of humanity for ownership and lust for coins. When winter sings, the normally calming wind agitates my aura. The grooming breath of a winter's dragon scatters seeds and debris, washes away dead things, clears the path for me. The old psyche disorients, disconnects, strands break off and wave. The eye of all dispassionately sees the mover of my muscles, sees the actor in the play, and she isn't me. The wind squalls a challenge. The ego thinks the props are real, as the ombre essence of desert pueblos blend with dust into the sunset, into the dark, where stars are pinholes to the infinite. And Joan Goodreau, would you like to join us on camera, please? Oh,
I got through, yes. I'd like to read.
okay. Tell us where you're located and go ahead and read some of your work from Voices.
Oh, okay. Right now, you want me to read?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm from Chico. Quite a ways away.
Well, where is that?
Where is it?
Yeah. What's
It's
famous?
about an hour and a half away from Sacramento.
Oh, so also California.
Oh, yes, California.
Wow.
Hummingbird Messenger, and I took this from a painting by the same name. Hummingbird
Page.
Messenger.
Page.
It's page 214. And can we read more than one poem or?
Yes, this first round we're reading about, we're 2 to 3, 4-ish minutes, that sort of thing.
Okay, well, I'd like to read the next page, 215, Memory Eternal. Hummingbird Messenger. Messenger from another world, dance with iridescent feathers, float free of time. Fly backwards, reverse time, bring messages from our departed, hover and heal us. Marigold guide, blooms exploding gold, light to brighten our dark path, guard, guide, and heal us. Memory eternal. This chant reverberates over you who rest in the hand-hewn pine casket with the tilting Russian cross. Surrounded by a haze of incense, you wear your favorite headband, fold your hands to wait patiently for what we cannot see. At Ego Veterans Cemetery, the drone of the piper leads us to the orange deer extractor beside a fresh dug rectangle and a box down at the bottom. I throw into your hole clods of red clay soil, too hard to grow anything but scraggly grass and gravestones. I cannot hear over the grind of the excavator's claw, shoving back the dirt that plugs your ears and lips, breathless in darkness, while we sing to you memory eternal. Like pillars round your grave, we do not move, but me, I want to run far from the tomb, speed back down the I-5 to find you where you always used to sit after liturgy by the perking coffee urn. Me? Why did you disappear so fast? If I'd known when I saw you last Sunday, I'd told you something real and true instead of pass the milk. He? Milk's real. Me? I couldn't stand the noise of that digger, the preciseness of the rectangle, how the clods bounced off your box and the hole filled up until I couldn't breathe. He? Sure glad I wasn't there. We laugh together. I take a breath and whisper, memory eternal.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, I believe we've all had a go, and we're pushing up close to an hour, so I suggest for a second round, just one quick poem. And we'll start again with Joe Nolan.
Okay. This would be on page 127. Your granddaddy's car. This is your granddaddy's car. One that puts your head back when you step on the gas. It's got power under your ass. This is your granddaddy's car. This is the one he drove for fun at 100 miles an hour on Sunday afternoons down a long straight road with its V8 humming. Just blowing out the carbon, he'd say. But people standing alongside the road swore they could hear him woohoo when he passed by. This is your granddaddy's car, with paint that shined like the sun when you'd wax it on Saturday morning before the sun got too strong. Getting ready for that Sunday ride with the top pulled down for the sun to bake your skin and the wind to whip your hair. Leaving the world behind. This is your granddaddy's car.
All right, Thank you. Dwight Jackson, would you like to read one more?
Yes, I would. And I am truly enjoying the sharing that others offer. I'm going to read the last poem that I have in our hymn notes. It is called An Ode to My Succubus. You would think there would be trepidation with the coming of day's end and the rise of the moon, knowing time to retire would arrive soon. Finding me in her embrace causes me to swoon. Mythology for you is reality to me. Some would view such an idea with fright. Unlike them, I am pleased to invite a succubus into my dreams night after night. Seduced, then pleasured to exhaustion, I found an euphoria unknown to me before in an exotic temptress, the succubus of my dreams, sent to delight my lonely nights. Or could it be the reality within this mythology is I am her incubus and she my prey? Who's to say?
Oh, okay. Thomas Hedt.
Fabulous. So wonderful to hear all the voices. Hey, Dave, you're back on. Good to see you.
Well, hopefully this works.
Wonderful. So I'll read the last one from our lucky number playbook here, page 227. It's becoming fluent in this land, and it starts with a little epigram from a person by the name of Irene. And I was down in Baja, and I was trying to convince her to teach me Spanish, and she was getting frustrated. She said, Tom, you've got to learn more words and expressions. You can't just say sí and bien all the time. I'm still working on that. Becoming fluent in this land. We slowly decamp the bus, walk through dust, gaze upward. The cordon, the elegant old man of the desert, centuries at watch, moving more slowly than even the most elderly in our group. We stand about and speculate about age, aridity, puncture wounds, the fleshiness that comes with time. We have no way to know what he has seen or how it feels to have a small owl make a nest in the holes of one's flesh.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Ed Balldinger.
I'm going to go to a book that I published in 2009 called From Cavity's Kitchen to the Bonecomber's Home. This one's called Words and Wine. Call it lunch. These are the words of others. These are the moments when symbolism speaks. These are the lovers and the odd lost people. These are those who are still yet undefined. These are derivatives of spark matter, the indignant flecks of trust. These are the pebbles and the clods, the elements of dense continuity. Swirl the wine, big bouquet, drink. Bon salivant.
All right. Okay. Benito Vila.
The White Bird is an idea. And I'm reading it from the poem and not from the book. The White Bird is an idea, a nod to Abby, Anita, Jerry, Nancy, and Paul, the first yippies. The White Bird is an idea glimmering in the politics of ecstasy, an idea that cannot embrace the desperate theater of tonight's evening news. To protect our freedom, there must be a disruption. It's needed, it's necessary. To fear what's about to happen is to acknowledge what doesn't work. One day, everything we love will be gone forever. Making today sacred is no quick trick. It's slow work, the alchemy of compassion, coming to terms with what doesn't come easy. To assign value to people, places, or things corrupts the goodness, sincerity, and holiness that will be theirs forever. A war against war is still war. The greed of no, the greed of more, the greed of hate, the greed of fury, the greed of gotta, the greed of hurt, the greed of sameness, the greed of isolation, and the greed of control. Each one wipes out any chance at peace. A war against war is still war, allowing mad, boar-faced, ugly finger-pointing to keep selling fear-smearing disconnection to to people who don't need it. This new America is trapped by its pettiness, exploding its own fate while mumbling about destiny, caring about money, and little else. Our pledge to interdependence, it's gone. Lady Liberty's been set ablaze and the fireboats can't reach her. Her meaning, her hope, her promise, they're burning. The truth lives in the obvious, like in the smart mouth music of the blues. You gotta move, get ready, you gotta move. Gather the freaks, set them free, watch what they do. See how they piss off anyone who's forgotten to be a kid and everyone who won't poke fun at their own altars.
Oh, thank you. Annie LaBrash.
Okay, so I'm going to do notebooks, and it's 142. Page 142, I should say. Notebooks on shelves, on the desk, the floor, but no matter how many, she always wants more. Some are filled, some are not. Some contain happy memories, others contain painful thoughts. But all have inside her heart, her pride, her most inner sense of self. And reflection comes when she ponders those books, sitting on floors, desks, and shelves, realizing each hold various versions of herself. She discovers she has been trapped within the pages, that her fear of being has followed her throughout the ages. But now's the time, she resolves, for that self to come out from those books, to raise her head and be proud of her stages, and finally to proclaim, to loudly exclaim, the mystery of self-entrapment has been solved.
Okay, thank you. Sharon Mahaney, would you like to read another?
Sure. I'm thinking I'll go with page 153, the geometry of man. Geometry of man. Gravity, a dance between sun and moon. Our earth feeling the tug and pull of tides and rules. Our symbiotic spin, arching in orbit, oblong, obtuse, stretching, strength, steadying, surety. We rarely realize its existence at all. Our being taken by our being, our own inner planet, each day and night dancing in orbit around itself.
Thank you. Sandra Tanhauser.
Yes, I'm going to read one on page 219. I missed you. I had just arrived a few days ago, a new job, a new town, still in a motel at 10 p.m. And you were gone, my addictive friend. No cloud-spun air, no chemical high, no comfort of busy hands. My tongue had nothing to nuzzle. You were going to make me leave, weren't you? Search for an open drugstore to find you in an unfamiliar town at 10 p.m. How could you? But I was just your puppet, rising from my chair, walking to the door, where my stubborn kid stood up. When my mind erupted in rage, I turned around, sat down. You do not control me. Oh, you wouldn't go that easily. You invaded my dreams. You seduced me with memory. You encouraged me to share the clouded air of other smokers. How could I resist? One part of me longed for you. I missed you when I walked away.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. Joan Goodreau.
This is on page 216 to 16. I have no words for what's happening now. declares my cardboard sign. I wave with all the other over 60 who saw the Dylan movie and show up by City Hall on President's Day. Our smiles recall the flower power marches, and we ask, where have all those flowers gone anyway? It will not be so bad, life without hope. I will finally find love with an AI of indeterminate sex. Muscly arms and soothing voice, they're there, they're there. Its soft words will cover me with solace, swaddle me in sympathy. I prophesy our intermarriage will set the standard not to reproduce, but to comfort as we go silent toward the end against the clowns of the apocalypse.
Okay, thank you.
On that cheery note.
All right, well, okay, well, this looks like page 105, little quickie. Next to the last words. Loss is made bearable by love. It is love that ripples and waves in one cosmic sea. Feeling thankful but ill, I made a list of things I wasn't, but wanted to be, of things I became. A rattling packet of nerves and disintegrating organs, wise and forgetful at once. Bending love like colors through a prism, one into many, teaching reality, bending truth into a poem. Dave Boles, would you like to say a few words and maybe read a poem, whatever you'd like to do?
Can you hear me this time?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes.
Yes. So better
connection, as usual. I have a lousy connection here, so thank you for hosting this, Belinda. It's always a crapshoot with me on the internet.
Yeah, it's been very
thanks for all you guys showing up. This is great. I get to see faces here that I haven't seen, and a lot of people who I have seen. And thanks a lot for contributing to Voices. I'm going to read on page 243. Vested Wizardry. What is it then that upon taking public office, otherwise gentle and honest people become raging savages, tossing aside public interests for monetary gains and power they formerly believed were only obtainable by the gods of books, fantasies, and lore? Under the guise of public servitude, they gather in their hollow temples, passing laws to please the public pockets, crafting death subterfuges, enabling coarse taxations that bind their constituents to their ever-growing greed. What is it, indeed, when exposed for their traitorous desires, they are not stripped of office, sent off to prisons, bankrupted of any elegance they might once have enjoyed? Quite the opposite. They are heralded as exemplary citizens, praised for their civic devotion, elected again and again, afforded lavish state funerals upon their death, libraries and institutions named after them, becoming legends, their memories elevated above the clouds, lauded to history as heroes, seers of destiny, forging a great nation, championing the people, leading the masses to a greatness only they could perceive. Why, it must be indeed be magic. And they, powerful magicians, weaving enchanted spells upon the mortals beneath them. Yes, that is the answer, magic. But what else could it be?
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. It's been a delight and a joy. I hope to see you all again at another reading somewhere.
It's wonderful to see you all. Those of you that I'm not connected with on Facebook, I'm going to try, before I forget, to send out little friend things. It's fun to kind of keep track of folks. So wonderful to see you all. Yeah.
And I will send you all a link to this, because after editing a few boo-boos, I will be posting this probably by tomorrow, and I'd like to tag you all, and I believe we need to be friends. So
All right.
I'm Belinda Subraman, Subraman, and let's connect. Okay.
Great.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Peace, everybody.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Dave.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Dave.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Belinda.
Thanks,
Okay.
Thank you,
guys.
Belinda.
Thanks, Belinda.
All right. Bye.